they had a lot of kids back in those days because they had no cable TV. You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Holy Fuck, It's a Music Podcast. Our guest today was born in Belize. He's a band leader and organizer of the Saskatoon Reggae Fest. He brings a flavor to the Saskatoon music scene and has helped make the music he loves more widely known on the prairies. Welcome, my friend Oral Fuentes.
It's good to be here, Randy.
Nice.
Awesome.
Good to have you, Oral. Thanks for taking the time to do this.
So I've seen you actually a couple times, Oral, coming out to the Reggae Fest, but obviously we've never met. So I just wanted to find out where you grew up. Sort of what, I think it was Belize, obviously. So what town and city, what part of Belize were you brought up in?
Yeah, I was born in Belize City, which is by the coast, and then I moved inland to a city by the name of Belmopan, and Belmopan is a very small city. And I think right now they probably have about maybe over 5,000 people, but maybe I could be wrong. It might be a lot more now, but or maybe less. I'm not so sure, but I think it's up there right now. It have grown tremendously, but then it's because of the hurricane and stuff. On the coast they moved the capital inland, but then Belize City is kind of like the capital, and stuff, But for the government stuff, Belmopan became the official capital. So I was born and raised there, and gave a lot of trouble down there and stuff. I was a trouble kid.
Yeah.
I've eight sisters and me and my brother. So a very large.
Holy moly.
Large family and stuff, and half of my sisters live in the States. So two, one in Los Angeles, one in Dallas, and two in Miami, and my brother is in Michigan. Bunch of family, half of my family live in first cousin and stuff in the States. But I was born and raised in Belize. Yeah.
And so where are you in the pecking order? Are you middle child, eldest, youngest?
I have three older sisters, and then myself.
Okay.
So then. Growing up, I take advantage of that because there's a lot of guys that were after my sisters, and so I get a lot of free movie passes and everything else.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Nice.
So I was going to say, my upbringing, part of my life was I was in the military for a while in the British military, and there's a British military base in Belize.
That's right. It's very much British. Belize is very much British. Yeah, I met a lot of the. What they call them blokes or call them limeys, right? and the Gurkhas too. A lot of people might not know about the Gurkhas. They were, I think they're from Nepal, right, Kevin? I think
yes. Yeah.
They got conquered by the British, and then they kind of like, they kind of pledged their alliance, And so I met a few of those guys too. Yeah, they always have a knife with them, and when they pull it out, they mean business. They said, don't let them pull out their knives. And,
the curved blade. Yeah, it's a serious bit of hardware. Yeah.
But we have very much. But Belize is very much British. I have more of a Spanish last name, Fuentes, because my grandmother. There's nothing new under the sun, right? When she was younger, she was a hottie, just long black hair and all, very beautiful, and so she ran off with that guy from with a young guy from Guatemala. This guy Fuentes. And so we have relatives in Guatemala that we don't even know. So then,
wow.
She was very young. She was about 16, and then they sent the cops looking for her and stuff. And then she changed her name to oh my goodness. Anyway, she changed her name and stuff. So when they come looking for her, then well, then they didn't really find her and stuff. They found somebody else. Yeah. So, yeah, she was quite,
Nice.
yeah,
That's
she was
awesome.
quite, but then, yeah, talk about it. You've been involved with the British forces and stuff. Most actually, all the country have the British last name, right? Surnames. The Locks
Right.
and the Smiths, the Jones, the Browns, it's all British last name.
Yeah.
And my mom last name, my mom maiden name was also Davis, which is
Okay.
Welsh. Welsh. So we have a bit of, it's mixed up there. It really mixed with that stuff.
Yeah.
The British. And yeah.
Well, the guys coming back from Belize would always sort of say, that it's a beautiful place. It's just paradise. You got to go over there. But then they'd also tell me that they have jumping spiders there, which is just, I'm out.
Yeah.
If spiders jump, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, they have quite a mixture. We have the flatlands in the north, and we have the ranches out west, and the coastal and the east, and the islands and stuff,
Right.
the reef, and then south is more of the jungle. Like we have cowboys there too. We have ranchers and stuff. A huge,
Right.
a lot of ranches in the western part, and yeah, so it's quite various and things, Yeah, but,
Cool.
yeah, but quite a good history between England and Belize, Yeah.
Hey, so Oral, this is we're shooting this on Mother's Day. I was just going to ask you because you said you had how many siblings? 8?
Eight girls. Eight. Me and my brother. So then like 10 kids. 10 kids.
Wow. Okay, so that's incredible. So what was music like in your house? Like, did your mom play or brothers, sisters?
Yeah, we had a lot of music on there and stuff. We have a lot of reggae and things, and a lot of our own style of Belize, our own style like in Belize broke down, like an accordion, kind of like how you say then? What's kind of like stuff that you do, kind of like the New Orleans vibes, We have a lot
Yes.
of and stuff, A lot of that.
Yeah, it's like the New Orleans. It's kind of a bit like the New Orleans style,
Yeah.
hey?
Yeah, exactly right. So we had a lot of that, and it was very loud growing up because everybody, like the household in Belize, everybody wanted to talk at the same time, And you got the TV is always on, the radio is always on, and everybody's talking at the same time, Everybody's so it was quite loud, and but lots of fun, lots of fun. I said that they had a lot of kids back in those days because they had no cable TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the favorite part.
Nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do.
So, how would you define that? Like, so it's kind of like, I know it's kind of like Zydeco.
That's right.
But what makes it distinctly Belizean then?
Yeah, because it was done by the Boom and Cham. Yeah, Boom and Cham band is a band that kind of like they kind of play the washboard. They play washboard. Yeah. They play the saw. The song kind of
okay.
noise. They make and so then like when they first started started out just simple. They just on the street and knocking 2 sticks together on a pint bottle.
Yeah.
And then after that, then they put in the accordion. So you have that sound,
Nice.
So it's not so much like soca. Yeah, soca from Trinidad is a lot different, but believe the breakdown was created by a guy Peters. Yeah, Mr. Peters. And Mr. Peters, his first name is Wilfred Peters, and he since passed away like a few years back. But then like he created that whole style and of just cultural. It's kind of like the Delta blues, like you go back in the backwoods and you find somebody that could like the guitar is falling apart, but they could still play amazing stuff on 4 strings or 1 string or kind of crazy stuff, But yeah, that's
so
it.
Did Lord Ray Band? Did he play Bruckdown?
Yeah, Lord Ribbon play a mixture of breakdown and a variation of how you say the punta. Yeah,
Oh, Punta Rock, yeah.
punta rock. Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, the punta rock was developed by both, but so Lord Ribbon and Pen Kaitano kind of had the same idea around the same time. This other Garufna, a fellow by the Pen Kaitano, like they brought in that whole mixture of the African style music mixed with guitar and mixed with and well then it's that whole style was developed then like in Belize also, but in the southern part. Yeah, but Ribbon kind of did like more of how to say then, like they both had the same idea, but they suddenly like different people in Belize have different version of who created it first, you know. It's like just like rock and roll, you know. Elvis Presley or Little Richard or Buddy Holly, you know. There's a lot of things that happen at the same time, you know. Same time. Same time.
Yeah, for sure.
But then Ribbon, Lord Ribbon does a mixture of calypso too, you know, calypso, because they have a guy by the name of Lord Kitchener, Lord Ribbon, and there's an Mighty Sparrow, Mighty Sparrow, and also that thing. But a lot of these guys from Jamaica and Trinidad, they kind of whole calypso stuff that have and the whole feel like a soca, like originate with these guys first, you know. And then, but the Calypsonians, as I call them, they use the name Lord because they said, hey, what? These guys in England call themselves Lord. We are Lord also. Yeah. You know
That's right.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I was just gonna ask you why they were all called Lord. That's so cool.
Yeah, because they're like, you know, and suddenly like they became, but it's their songs is very they have a lot of how to say sexual content in their songs. Right. Like their songs like a very double meaning, whether it's political or whether it's sexual, you know. They have a lot of double meaning happening, you know.
Yeah.
So like you could be singing a song, but you're singing something about like a woman's part or something like that, about a part. You don't realize it, you know. You get in trouble.
Hey, so let's say Lord Ray-Ban, was he big? Because he wasn't in North America big, but was he big in like Jamaica too, and like you know, big. Like Saint Lucia and all those islands and stuff?
Yeah, a lot of places might play his music and don't realize it's him because he's a lot older now and stuff. But he have been tour like he also plays jazz. Like I've been like their group when they first started out in Belize was more like a jazz band, and they kind of like evolve. Like these guys play amazing jazz. Incredible. They are good. They're really good musicians. But then a lot of players have migrated to the States and stuff like that. And so when Lord Ribbon come to play, he usually get the guys in from Los Angeles and New York to join him and to play. But then the whole Belize music scene like start out like with him and different ones, you know. From there, you know, there's tons of bands from in a whole area that like I grew up listening when I was younger and stuff. And but like he is in the Reggae Hall of Fame too, and stuff. You know, he's the Reggae Hall of Fame. And
he is.
Yeah, he is. And
wow.
So then he's. But a lot of young guys like. Well then, Ray-Ban. Whenever I go to Belize, we always get in touch with each other. We always go to eat. We always go to grab a drink or something like that because like then his mom like he said Ray-Ban grew up in my same area then like in Belize City. His mom and us we used to live close by and he used to pass by when I was younger and stuff and then I hear them playing and that's why like I used to in some of my songs I refer to him, you know. And, like I hear music playing, but I didn't realize who it was and stuff, you know, and things, you know. But then like that's why his mom, Miss Liz and myself, Miss Liz. I just post a picture like on Facebook with her and myself, you know. I met her a few years ago, and she hugged me. She didn't want to let me go and things, you know. She's a great lady, great lady. But he didn't know that I knew his mom, you know. That he didn't know that and stuff, because his mom called me. They don't call me Oral. His mom called me Bobby. And a lot of my friends, if you say Oral, they might say, "Oh, that's yeah, we know who that is." But a lot of my friends know me as Laro. Yeah, Laro.
Really?
Yeah, as Laro.
Really?
Yeah, because when I was younger, then I had a shirt that I changed my name backwards. It's Oral backwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just going to ask you then. So, like, obviously, you have those local Belize-based musicians who are influences, but you said the radio was always on. Were you listening to people like Bob Marley and Jimmy Cliff and Desmond Decker and?
Oh yeah, Jimmy Cliff.
So lots of those too.
A lot of the old guys, you know, Jimmy Cliff, Bob Marley, and oh my goodness, there's a guy Pluto. Yeah.
Okay.
Pluto. Listen to Pluto. We listen to Lord Laro. There's another guy that called himself Lord. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Lord Laro. And we listen to it's also Baron Lee and Dragoneers. I don't know if you're familiar with Baron Lee and Dragoneers. They're a huge they're the ones that started with a lot of horns, a huge horn section and stuff. So a lot of guys, they base from the era basic on the old soul horn guys, you know, like James Brown and different ones of the big horn section and stuff. So that was kind of like the influence of the Caribbean too. Like we grew up listening to country. It's amazing. We know from Marty Robbins to oh my goodness, this was long before Garth Brooks. You know, we listened to Marty Robbins. We listened to Kenny Rogers. We listen to let it old really old school country. You know? Yeah, we listen to a lot of Loretta Lynn. We listen to a lot of the old school and stuff. So then, like in Belize, they still play. They still play country. We play a lot of pop. So people listen to a lot of Motown too. Lionel Richie, a lot of and the Commodores and the different things like that. You know, a lot of we listen to a lot of stuff. Like I mentioned, James Brown already, and so we listen to a lot of the old school. You know, yeah.
So a real sort of a broad swath. You weren't just listening to reggae. You listened to a whole bunch of different things. Yeah,
that's right. And a lot of bands like our band here, like we just do our own original. But a lot of the bands, like in Belize, they do they could do the original, but suddenly then they will burst out to "Lady in Red is dancing." They were showing something there, and next thing then they'll be singing some Freddie Fender. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with Freddie Fender. You know. No, wasted days and wasted nights, no, and stuff, you know, like, you know, so then they could do both. They could do English, they could do Creole, they could do and also Spanish songs though. Then so the bands there are much more versatile than us, than our band here, because like our band, like I said, we just do our own original, but they would be doing like they'll be doing a one song, and then the next thing they're doing a salsa or a merengue or something, you know.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty amazing bands, you know, and stuff. Amazing musicians down there. Yeah. What
were your first experiences then? Sort of, you know, growing up and picking up a guitar at 16, learning a few songs. What were your first experiences playing with other people? Like, what were you playing gigs in Belize? Did you form a band? Did that come later?
Yeah.
What was that experience?
Yeah, we just begin to form a band, and then after that, then we do a lot of cultural shows and things. And then, like we just learn as we go and stuff, you know. Like we didn't have like a lot of big mentors and things. We just kind of like hang out and watch other people how they're doing it and stuff, you know. And then like I said, like we saw then the Professionals was another band in Belize that we have seen and stuff, and you know, and then we see that how they load the horn things and stuff, but we didn't have no horns at the time and stuff, and the next band by the name of Glenn Budd, and stuff that use a lot of horns. There's a lot of amazing guys like that. And for us, we didn't think about like here, like most of the guys that are in bands want to know, hey, how much we're making. You know, we never thought about that. You know, we just go and play. You know, we never thought about there's money to be made from this. No, we just
not very much money.
No. Yeah, I think that is music. That is music in its purest form, though, right? Because no matter whether you're a recording professional or a touring professional or an amateur or whatever, you're doing it for the love of music.
That's right.
You know, making money's good, and everyone should be able to, and musicians should be paid properly. Yeah. But you would do it even if you weren't getting paid. You would still do it. You couldn't not do it, right? I mean,
that's right. Exactly. Because you have to have all that to like to express yourself, you know. And for me, it's just like painting. Like I get that nice high, you know, from painting. And the same thing, like you get a high when you're, I mean, some people really get high, but I mean, not that kind of high, but that kind of like really that lifting up of the spirit when you could get on stage, you know, and stuff. And I'm not, because then that's to me like we weren't focusing on the money part. We were focusing, man, we like to get on the stage and play, you know, we like to do that, you know, you know. Like we were a quote cultural group, like we weren't like a gospel band or something like, you know, but then we did like spiritual songs and things like that. But then like we brought our own style of stuff. So then like we didn't really do much churches and stuff. We do much more cultural shows and things. So people were thought that, hey, these guys are not, they're doing good songs, but they're out there, you know. There was a straight on the fate, you know, things like that. You know? But then we were invited to a lot of different events and stuff, really amazing and things, you know.
Obviously, you've lived in Canada for a while. So what spurred on your decision to leave Belize? I think you went somewhere else for a while before you got to Canada. Tell me that story.
I was out with an organization that is. They're in the front lines right now, like with COVID-19, but it's an organization called Youth to the Mission. And we have ships. They have ships. It started in like Lausanne, Switzerland, but it's a youth movement. But now youth is with them is kind of like 75 down. You know, there's other older guys and stuff like that. But there's a lot of young people still. There's a lot of but a lot of them work and they like we have ships that go out to the I think I'm not so sure much ships that they own right now that have like a whole medical crew and like on board, you know, that could take care of like they go in a certain area and they bring out food, they bring the relief work and things like that, you know.
Okay,
a lot of great things. Yes, it's a missionary organization. But so I was up in Oregon working with that for a year. Then I went to Guatemala and then back to Belize, and then worked with that. And then after that, then with Jungles of Guatemala, taking food for them. So I did medical, like interface them medical teams going to Honduras and also Guatemala. So we did. So it's not like they you know they have a picture of the old missionary guy with the hat. You know, man, kind of, you know, it's not like that at all, you know? Nothing like that. Not like the old Jones movies, you know. But then it was pretty cool working with Guatemalan government and stuff. And then like the one guy that we worked with was FIDEP, is an organization that is branched from the Guatemalan army. But they do relief work, building roads and providing food for the poor. So we did a lot of that, you know, we're taking food way back, way in deep the jungles of Guatemala. Like about, this was about like, oh my goodness, it was about like, we went from Belize into Guatemala jungle, like about 4 hours or more deep in the jungle and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went in there twice. And I am slim now. I was skinnier. I look like a POW, you know, like a prisoner of war. I was now because they had the people just had rice and beans. That's all they had, and they raised chicken, and but they raise chicken just for the eggs. They don't raise chicken for the yeah. So then so one of the times where they even kill a chicken for us and stuff, and that was big for them to sacrifice, and things. But
yeah, no kidding, yeah.
But we went down there and made stove. There is a stove by the name of a Lorena stove that you could make from clay. And I could still do that. I could come to Randy's backyard and make a clay stove for him, It's amazing. And then you could bake in it. You could bake. You could do a lot of stuff in here. You could cook and things. It's amazing stuff. We did that deep in the jungles for them. And so then
cool.
and then so I went in there twice. But the last time then the Guatemalan government had to flew them in because of the guerrilla warfare was too close. So that what they do, they fly them in with the Puma helicopter, right to the top of the jungle. Fly and like they don't go high because then they could see them. So they fly right on top of the trees. Fly past so they can't shoot them.
Terrifying,
crazy
absolutely
stuff.
terrifying.
That was crazy. And then I went out. I joined in with the arts. Then I came to Canada. I got a scholarship at the art school with Youth of the Mission also. But say the Youth of the Mission school, then they have all types of schools. We have surfing school. You got any school you could think about in your mind. This organization has it,
Right.
and stuff. Yeah, they have people involved with us, like in Amsterdam, from punkers to hard rockers to bands and to metal bands. And so, I was playing drums with a metal band, they're from the school. So then,
wow.
Yeah, so that was a workout because you had a double drum. That was pretty crazy. But then I wrote songs at the school. Then I was with the school there for 4 years at the school. And 4 years I've just learned write music and play and different things. So we spend a lot of time on the guitar and to write music, and we got a lot of tours in Nashville, and we went to Nashville a few times, went to New York a few times, working with camps and working with different churches, working with different groups, working different basically same thing like we're doing in jungles of Guatemala, but mostly the jungles of these countries, These countries have their own concrete jungle.
Where was that all based out of? Was that all based out of Belize still, or?
No, this was based out in Cambridge, Ontario. Like we have
okay.
Yeah, we have the base in Oregon. We have the base in we have a base in Portland. We got base I think in Salem, Oregon was my base. Then from them I went to Belize, and Belize have a base. They have bases in Hawaii. They have bases in every single major city in the world and stuff. They do a lot of hands-on with Doctors Without Borders. They do a lot of stuff with medical groups. Yeah. But it's all like doctors and nurses that come down, and like it's not so much it's not so much preaching. They're not there to beat people across the head. They're there just to serve, to serve and to love and to care for people. That's amazing, and so that's what we did then. Even in Nashville and stuff, we did. That's Rick. That's a church that Ricky Skaggs goes to. Ricky Skaggs. Ricky Skaggs, he's like a bluegrass king down there. He's like Ricky Skaggs, Elvis Presley, man. That guy's like Elvis Presley, So we met. I met guys that I don't even know, because a lot of these guys they be singing about, "Oh, my baby's gone." They sing you see them in church, Hey, that's it.
How did that end up with you coming to live permanently in Canada or Saskatoon or Saskatchewan?
The thing is, I came. There was a girl that I met out in at the school, and then we developed a relationship. And I moved out here. Then after that, then she moved out to Alberta. Then I just stayed kind of like, this is not too bad, and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's a short version. But
that is the short version.
but then, yeah, we had a kid together and stuff, and then I decided to stay for my little girl and things now. Well, at the time too, there's not much how to say it, like cultural diversity, and stuff, you know, who's from Jamaica or who's from Ghana, who's from different ones, but now it's exploded.
I think you came out to the 100 Acre Woods show back in the
that's right,
mid 90s even, yeah. So
yeah, it's amazing because there was bands like you guys, 100 Woods. Is that 100 Woods or 1,000 Woods?
100. We should have been 1,000, but we were only 100.
Yeah, but amazing because like I've seen pictures of Randy. He was in like a UFS had the Chief or something. Is it called the Chief?
Yeah, the Chief.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's still going, but there's that was there, and there's a lot of different bands like then there's a band by the name of Obsidian and stuff. There's a whole bunch of, and there's a lot of different bands that kind of dissolve and stuff, like they're all in other bands now and stuff, you know, and things.
Tied into that then though, was there any sense back then? I mean, it tends not to be in the music world, and maybe it would be more outside, but being a little bit more ethnically diverse and, you know, visibly ethnic minority, did you ever run up against any sort of overt racism where you thought you weren't getting opportunities more based on that side of things than necessarily being covers or originals? Was there any of that you saw coming into Saskatchewan in sort of in the mid-90s?
No,
No?
I don't think it was that. To me, because a lot of guys were that were coming here were playing that were also black, but they get the opportunity to play buds and stuff because they were doing, even if they're not doing covers, they're more well known. You know what I mean? Like they're well known artists that were coming in and stuff. You know, so then I don't think the clubs were wherever like that. You know, like even with buds too. Like when I started, when I did get a chance to play there and stuff, I didn't even know that it was like a biker's bar and something like that, you know, like they go on the left side there where the BLTs are, where all the Hells Angels and stuff, but I didn't realize that I just go back there and say hi to the guys that I know, you know, so then I was oblivious to that kind of stuff, you know, or maybe I was naive, who knows, but you know, I just went back there and I was friendly and they talked to me, and then it's kind of like, I didn't even know there was Hells Angels, you know, or a biker gang, whatever else, kind of. But
well, I mean, but you're a pretty charismatic guy, right? So maybe you just get away with it because you're pretty open and happy and honest, you know. So maybe that's it.
Sonny Rhodes came and he came in. He played at Bud's one night, and I went to see him, and I was going to the washroom, and he just stopped me. I didn't know him, never met him before, and he said, "You." And they kind of, what? Talking to me? Yes, you. He said that I need to be myself. This is what he told me. Be yourself, and you're gonna be better than anybody else because you're yourself, and stuff, you know. And he didn't know I played, nothing like that. But he just sensed. He was like a little prophet there or something. He was kind of weird kind of thing. But yeah, he just told me that, and then he just stopped me, and he didn't ask me if I was a musician or nothing, but he just told me, here, what you need to be yourself. And then I took advice, you know, just, you know, like, and that's what attract people, because, you know, if you, like Randy, his music is very, attract people too, because he has developed his own style. His songs, New Orleans, but not quite. His song this one, not quite. You know, I mean, he has his own, he's just Randy Woods, you know, and stuff. And that's what, like we try to aim for it too. Like and I think that's what got us in a jazz festival and different venues, that people begin to see, you know what, these guys are not, they might not be the greatest musician in the world, but they sure have fun, you know. They sure have a good vibes about them, and then so then we will get more and more doors open and more people to listen to us, and because people people want to have fun. People don't want to hear about, how bad they are, and how they already know that's bad, They're all going through it already, because like it's like some rap music, like that rap is really good, but then how angry can you stay angry for so long? You gotta be, like they're mad at the police back in the 50s. They're mad at the police back in the 70s. They're mad at the police back in, kind of like, well, why would you not get mad at the cops?
Do you think, Oral, that goes to, and I do believe this, that a lot of that goes to authenticity. A crowd knows if you're being honest, right? If you're singing about something you actually believe,
that's right.
It comes across differently if you're just saying the words. It's very, very different, right? So that authenticity, I think, plays into that. So
that's like if like a guy that is a speaker, if he comes and it's kind of like, just just boring.
Yeah.
But then they have guys them that like from the time they get on stage, like they believe that like that mic have also become part of them. That mic stand has become part of them.
Yeah.
That the entire thing become as one. Like and then like when you see guys like James Brown or like Bob Marley, for example, like he's singing and he's singing like, like he could be singing the most the song that you might not believe in, but he believes in it so much that you feel like that is his last song that he's going to ever be singing, like his whole heart is in it, and that's what draws people in, kind of, wow, man, that's really amazing, and I see a lot of artists like that, that like they really believe in that they have develop their style and they believe in who they are, and that's very hard for artists because we're so insecure, we're so based upon, if one gig closed down, we think that, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world, one person, and I learned it early, like, hear what, there's lots of no's, but there's also lots of yeses too, right? There's lots of yes. So then like, and you know what, like you can beat yourself, like, and it's like like a good band too, right? They would make mistake on stage, but the audience might not know that because they kind of develop a certain way of covering it up and stuff that make it more fun. Even with the mistake, it becomes fun. You know what I mean? And then that's what attractive, and things that like So then, but I think we just push myself more to develop, and I'm still learning. I want to play the lead guitar like Randy play, eventually.
Don't we all?
Nothing. It's nothing, guys. Hey, Oral, I was going to ask you, and I mean, I think I know the answer, and I know actually when we recorded Rise Up, we even talked about this, but how do you think that, and because you've lived here for a long time, how long do you, how do you think living on the prairies has influenced, the way that you write? And because, it's, we're not raised with listening to soca and bruckdown and reggae, and so here you are now, and you've got to get musicians from the pool that's available to you. So how does that affect the way you write or how your show comes together? Or
I think that it just have to come. You just have to go so far, and you have to have a cap that say that's good.
Yeah,
it can be better, but then like, who?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're just gonna like even when I working with our band and so forth, like, like, okay, that sound as close as I want it. It could be better, but to get it how you want it, you have to maybe use like a producer that have grown up with this style, that have grown up. You have to use a musician that grew up with it, a drummer that have grown up with it for years. You have to use all that stuff.
It has to make your style of music just slightly more original too, doesn't it?
That's right.
Like I said, having me play on your stuff.
Yeah.
Versus a guy that was born in Belize, it's got to add some a bit of originality to it. Like, and when I say me, I mean me or
That's right.
or
Exactly.
Mike or Zender or any of the guys, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that's what bring in the uniqueness, see? Because like you see you hear some reggae songs and they all sound the same. They all sound the same. But then you know what I mean? Like they all sound the same. Like but then because everybody want to be like or when it's dancehall, it all sound the same. Whether it's reggae, it all sound the same. And that's why a lot of pop songs today too. They all sound the same. Kind of like
Yeah.
is that Rihanna or is that who's that singing? They also they have a certain formula, and they keep that formula and it works right across the board because that's what sell make them up. But then I think that's what makes it unique too. That like I can bring in guys that because the whole reggae now holder is varies. There are all different style of reggae. There is like love rock, there's lovers rock reggae, there is just roots reggae. There's all types of reggae music too, and stuff,
Yeah.
and there's so much variation. Starting with our band to bring in somebody like Randy, he bring in his own kind of rock and roll groove and stuff and style and uniqueness. Then it create it let me like it sound a little different then, with my flavor then, like it's kind of like Belize rice and beans mixed with some steak, mixed with some bit of steak
Right.
a bit of bit of putting a bit of salad, a different style of thing in
That's
there.
right.
It's still food, but it'll taste a little different. But not different to throw you off. Oh man, but different for taste.
Yeah, I always just think that music is better when it's been molded and melded and every influence from every corner of the world, and you know what I mean. Like I like it when it's fused, and so that's what I guess that's what I'm suggesting. Is I think in a way, probably some of what you do is become fused with, whatever it is, a bit of the Canadian culture and Belizean culture mixed, right?
It's a major fusion because even living here too, like we have like people, people from Ghana in the band, people from all different background, but then they brought they live in here and they pick up different things too. Like it's like Paul Simon and that one song he did, Diamond in the Sole of My Shoes and something like that.
Yeah. With Lady Smith Black Mambazo.
Yeah, amazing stuff. See, amazing stuff, and it works. It works, and he brought that world music to a different level in that sense. And that so like we do reggae, but it's almost like just world beats in that sense. It's regular world music in that sense, because of that fusion of all the different cultures together, and when they have an experience with the rock and the blues and different things. So when you implement that and stuff, and plus the whole Caribbean music has a mixture too, because a lot of the guys them in the Caribbean were listening on the radio to North American stuff and shortwave radio, and that's the whole the development of ska and stuff, with the horns and things. And things now that developed ska, and then they began to take off with ska. Then it went to rock steady. Then they brought it with a lot of horns still, and the bands like Burning Spears is a rock steady. They do a lot more rock steady stuff, and then it began to drop off to the beat more slower reggae and stuff, and things. But it started like with ska, like the old big band. Because that's what they're hearing. That's what they're hearing and stuff,
Do you think, Oral? I mean, there's an interesting discussion there. I think that cultural appropriation is a term that sort of gained traction in the last 5, 6, 7 years, where people start to get offended when, you shouldn't be taking black music, or you shouldn't be taking African music, or you shouldn't. And I know that Paul Simon was accused of that, in more recent times. But to me, it's always been about music is about enriching the art, and if you can take in influences from different places, it's not appropriation. It's paying homage to it. It's kind of saying that, okay, well, I like this. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the people that are crying that are mostly just whites now.
Non-musicians.
Yeah.
And the people that are crying that they like it's like you're trying to create something that is not there, and said like like you're trying to like if like it's kind of okay, like if you do me wrong, I will let you know that you do me wrong. Understand?
Yeah.
I don't need somebody else to tell you how I feel.
Right.
It's and that's what it's like one guy there, sitting in his classroom somewhere, or behind his computer, and watching YouTube and stuff, and then he think that, oh, you know what, Kevin is doing a conspiracy against me. Kind of like, what? I don't even know Kevin, and stuff, so then they create all these big scenarios and things. Like, seem like the guy that, like, don't want us to be offended from saying Merry Christmas because it offended people coming in. The people coming in don't care about Christmas. They want to make a living,
That's right.
They're coming to this part of the world to make a living. They're not kind of like, you know what, the big thing is not kind of like, wow, they put Christmas on the bus. Man, no, that's the last thing in your mind.
Like that's what they're concerned about, hey? Yeah.
Well, that leads into something else. I wanted to ask you about too, because like I said, I saw you a couple of times at Reggae Fest, and to me, Reggae Fest is it's a celebration of music and culture and the world and everything else. So can you give me some background on why you decided to take on something that huge and ridiculously complicated and hard? And
it's still hard, because like we've been taking a little break from it, and so, we have to right now because of this whole the confinement and stuff. They try to get this virus on the whole and things, but I think that it's still a challenge and stuff, because even if we have to do it next year, it's very hard, because it's to me it's kind of like I tell Randy many times, why am I doing this? What am I getting myself into? Because it's not a big money making thing and stuff. It's more of to bring people together and stuff. And I changed it from just reggae festival to reggae and world music to implement the First Nation, and we got a lot of support.
Yeah.
We got a lot of support from SIGA and the groups like that, to really come behind us to because the First Nation need also then like a voice too, there's a lot of great performers, and stuff. But I try to bring in a lot of different culturals, the people from India, different ones involved and stuff. Because our folk fest here, to be honest, is mostly around food anyway. It's not like Winnipeg Folk Fest, or Regina Folk Festival. It's around music. Here is around mostly food, which is fine and things. But then like the hours of the whole reggae world music fest is to more of a, have the dancers, have different performers, have different ones. They have the opportunity to be on stage and stuff. And but it's a challenge, very challenge, and it's kind of like sometimes, like I say, I wonder, what in the world, but I still have a vision for it. So eventually, when Randy come on board with some more money, then we could get it off.
That's right.
But it's a great time. I mean, I remember going down by the river. It was down. And I brought my kids out, and everyone was dancing. Everyone was having a good time. There were faces being painted. It was wonderful, and it was outdoors. It was a nice day. You can't beat that, right? I mean, festivals they're the heartbeat of a city or of a culture, where when people come together like that, that's really important, I think.
Exactly. And I think it's still like we like, it's good to have like a festival that's family oriented too, and stuff, and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to, like, we want to do even more, and that's why I think people like the jazz festival too and stuff, and because jazz festival have implemented everybody. If you implemented bands like Randy, our band, and different bands that are not jazz, in that sense, but then that, because people love this kind of music, people love these kind of like the grassroots music and stuff, and kids, like you say, you come down with your kids, and like
Oh,
it's a great thing, because like remind me of the kids like in Belize. You could knock two things together and kids start dancing, and
yeah.
stuff, because they just want to have fun, they don't care about the color of the skin and nothing like that and stuff. And that's why I think people that is bringing in all these other stuff that to like to be cultural sensitive and stuff, other um, if you want to find out about the culture, find out from the culture itself. Don't find out from somebody that is in a classroom that's called themselves a professor. That's not really a professor, because they haven't even been out there and stuff,
Yeah.
among the people and stuff, and things. People get so smart, they get so foolish, it's foolish, they get so. To me, it's a compliment when you could do, like, if you do our style, like in Belize, if you learn Creole and do a song in Creole, I would be amazed. Kind of, wow, that guy is that's crazy. This guy from Saskatchewan, he's no, he's doing our own cultural song, and I think it's a compliment. It's a compliment, like when you could do somebody else song or do something with it, or somebody else culture and do something with that. To me, that should be much more of a compliment than to be. If the culture is offended, that's different. But if somebody is offended for the culture, on behalf of the culture, that is not from that culture anyway, kind of like, hello, I mean, like, you're so like to bring it back, it's just the most of the time it's just the white person that is offended, on behalf of the cultural person that is not really offended, that don't even care. They just want to make music or pay their bills,
That's right.
you
Hey, Oral, what year did you move to Saskatoon? What year was it specifically?
Oh my goodness, brother! I know you're trying to find out how old I am, right?
No. I don't care about that. I was just only gonna.
Yeah.
I was just only gonna say, because, back, in the, say, 95 or whatever, I'm not sure how many reggae bands there were really in town, or bands of any sort of cultural note. So do you think it's changed quite a bit between when you first came to now? Yeah.
Yeah. I came here back in 1990, around 92, I think. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
and then, but there's a band by the name of the Mighty Spiff. And then if you realize, there's a reggae band. There's a bunch of white farmers that marry Jamaican. And I think that Roger, he lives out in Big River. I think he has a studio out Big River right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about Oral? There was that band out of Regina too. They all wore suits, and they kind of maybe played more ska. What were those guys called?
That was
Scavenger.
Great.
Yeah, they were really good. I saw them at Lydia's more than once, and
That's right.
I just loved them. Yeah.
So, Oral, obviously, we're all in lockdown, and this is why we're unfortunately having to do this via a computer instead of sitting down and chatting in person. So how are you adapting to this sort of new world situation in terms of a musician? How are you? Have you thought of any ways to engage with your fans and sort of keep playing? Or some guys have been doing Facebook Live, and there's been different things that people have been doing. Is there anything that's crossed your mind, or are you just kind of plowing forward and waiting to get through it?
I've been changing. Well, a lot of us been changing our whole format too. To do a lot of our work online. Like, it forced the musicians to do the good thing with all this is it forced the musician to learn about hands-on. I like to sell you, like, you have become now the salesperson for your own art, and stuff,
Yeah.
And I think that it really shows it showed me the importance that you have to have a music store, and that's I see so many bands that don't have a store, like that. Most people don't have a link neither that works, You know, like I go to the different guys' site, and I press on their band site, and nothing show up. So
Yeah.
then it's time for them to really develop their own hands-on instead of get somebody else to do that stuff for them. And it really teach me that like we did an album with Randy a couple of years ago by them Rise Up, and it's about to re-release that again because it wasn't released on okay, it was released but not released quite well. It was released just locally in that sense. No, I didn't release it like an iTunes, don't have it. Yeah, to me, like I really see like our artists need to change the way we talk to like we say I have an album and well how do I find it? It's on every platform. Well, what what platform? You know?
Yeah.
No, nobody gonna take the time. That's what I learned. I'm learning that right now too. Nobody gonna take the time to go find you. Nobody gonna take the time to go find me. You tell me where to find you. You know, like if Randy tell me to come over to his house, you know, where do you live, Randy? I live at this address. You know, you come. You know, Randy don't say,
Yep.
well, I live in a neighborhood right around Broadway, right here. You know, you could search me out and find me. You know,
Just ask someone for me.
just as around there. You know, it's in that area, and that's how we act with our music. You see, it's on every platform. You know what? In every platform. That could be anything. So the hands-on thing for artists is very, it's a challenging. It's challenging because now you have to learn all these things that you could have paid a tech guy to do, but now you have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no nobody else could do it now. You know, it's kind of like the DIY, the do-it-yourself thing have become even much more stronger during this virus challenge and the confinement. That you know, like you have to find ways to engage with your fans and to find ways to be stronger engaged, not just use terms that the other guy artist is using. Oh, you could find me. I asked you what style of music you play. Well, it's kind of like country. It's kind of like kind of like what? You know, be specific. I think that
Oral and I have talked about this at length, and I've talked to other artists about this. Yeah, you have to be your own. You have to be your own everything. Your own publicity manager, booking agent. You know, you've got to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And so have you been writing songs in the interim? Do you have a new set of songs that you're going to start
Oh yeah,
recording a new album?
I have a lot of new songs, a lot of new songs and stuff that, like I have enough for another album right now and stuff. You know, I have enough material that I haven't even like a lot of songs. Like during this time too, especially I've been going back to like different things that I wanted to do and stuff. You know, that now it's time to do it. I joke about playing the lead guitar and stuff, but I just want to play it and stuff and lead and things. I'm not a lead player, but I'm hungry to learn and sense, you know.
Yeah.
Because now that I have time, I could try to be a better musician, be a better vocalist. I haven't found myself arrive and stuff. I want to get to look at it this way, right? We think we arrive as musicians. But to me, I always see that there's always a higher way that a better way of that stuff. Look at it that, for example, look at the alphabets, right? The guitar is based upon 7 chords, guys. 7. And then there's just 7 letters in the alphabet. What happened to the rest? Yeah. Maybe I have a lot of time to think since I'm confined. But just think about that, you know. That it's just based A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. You know.
I would say though that I have yet to meet a musician who would say they've arrived. All the musicians that I know are neurotic. You know, they're insecure. They don't think they can play. They don't think they can sing. They don't think they can write. Everyone thinks they're all the same. I mean, they really are. You know.
you go back and forth to Belize every once in a while, I know, to visit your mom and stuff. How often do you go, and how much has it changed since you left, you know, your
Man,
hometown or whatever?
the last time I've been now, it's been like over 4 years now. I've been, it's time to go back, but it won't be a while now because of this COVID, the flight thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it'll be, but I've seen a lot of changes and stuff, because like a lot of places have been now owned by foreign companies. So places that used to go swim as a kid for free, now you can't even go there because it's a hotel and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's a bad part and things now, for the environment and things that money have become more of a like a selling out, you know, of whether it's islands and different coastlands and things now that we don't have really, people don't have like even like in Bamapan, a place where we used to go swim, like it was the top of a hill, like, you know, like what they call it, the Bamapan hilltop, like, and stuff, you know, and it's a nice pool there, but now it's taken over by somebody else and stuff, you know. So a lot of things like that have changed and things, and a lot of talented people, but yet a lot of crime, eh? Like in Belize City, have a lot of crime. Like most of my family, like that live in Belize City by the coast, like live in the southwest side, you know, that's a bad area and stuff. So you hear the gunshot going off and stuff and things, you know, and pretty sad and stuff, you know. And a lot of my relatives have been in either in jail or coming out of jail, or, you know, or they've done crime and stuff. But so there's a lot of, like I say, a lot of talented people and stuff, but just that are falling through the cracks and stuff, you know. The majority of people that like in poverty sometimes, or people that live in their own environment, don't know what's happening in the next spot, you know. Like we have a Creole proverb. The Creole proverb. I'll speak a little bit of Creole for you. The Creole proverbs. The Creole proverbs goes like this: rock stone that river bottom no know the sun hot.
Okay, let's give me a translation.
So say I'll do the translation. The rock in the bottom of the river don't know that the sun is hot.
Yeah.
So
okay.
rock stone that river bottom no know the sun hot. The rock in the bottom of the river do not know that the sun is hot. It cannot feel the warmth of the sun. Like basically, this proverb is kind of like people that live secludedly don't know the facts of life. You know, so that's
that's brilliant.
Yeah, so we have lots of Creole proverbs like that. Now a lot of Creole proverbs, and people that, you know, like see, like the guys that say, for example, that is doing crime in that little environment. That's all they know. Yeah. They just know a couple blocks. They don't know. And I'm going to tell them about Canada. They think about Toronto. They don't know. Yeah. Tell my relative hello in Toronto. What? We're not even close to Toronto, man. We're in Saskatchewan. See, and that's how people need to free their mind. You know that, like what Bob Marley say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Yeah. None but yourself can free your mind. Like we call ourselves broke musicians, but we're not really that broke, you know. We're not really that broke because, like, and we say we call ourselves starving musicians, but we're not really starving. Come on, guys, not really starving. You know, I don't think people out there are really starving in the world. You know?
I'm not starving.
You know what I mean? Like, because if we want to buy an instrument, man, we could find the money so quick to buy something along McQuaid. So overnight we could get that. You know, where did the money come from? You know, we could know. Suddenly, you know. But other people in other countries don't have that opportunity. They like to play the guitar, but they can't really play they want to learn, but they can't learn because they don't have a place to buy a guitar and stuff. So we take our guitars for granted. We take, man, that, I mean, like, you know, like, I mean, like make you want to take care of your instrument more, you know, that, you know, take care of what you have What you
Okay, Oral, we're almost done with you because I know you want to get your girl to bed. You don't play rock and roll, you play reggae, but I sort of mean more in the sense of like electric guitars versus drum machines and like, computer-based music. So the question is rock and roll dead?
Oh my man. I think what is dead is people's drive, eh? People understanding of it. I think people are more concerned in making money than to make good music. People want real music. People like you don't hear the guitar like you usually hear it in a rock. Like I like good rock and roll too and stuff, but
Yeah.
the guitar become more wishy-washy, kind of like, what is that? That's what is he playing,
So we're kind of speaking on the rock and roll thing. We always finish with 10 quick fire questions, and so the quick fire in the sense that they're very short questions, but you can feel free to elaborate as much as you like. But speaking about rock and roll, question number 1 is Rolling Stones or the Beatles?
Rolling Stones.
Who do you go with?
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Okay. What's the favorite thing in your closet right now?
Favorite thing is my guitar. I'll treat them with you.
Okay, so, and this is a tough question for any musician, and I hate asking it to some degree, but it's insightful. But what song do you wish you'd written most?
The one from from Aerosmith. The one that I don't
want to miss a thing.
Close my eyes. I don't want to miss a thing, right? Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I wouldn't have expected that. Okay.
Good choice.
Yeah. And then, so a companion question to that is, what song do you wish you hadn't written?
Gangnam Style.
We can skip forward. Okay, so an easier question: sandals or flip flops?
I say sandals.
Always.
Sandals, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and you can't. I think you alluded to this earlier, but the best piece of advice you've received from a musician?
Just be yourself. Be yourself.
Be honest. Yep.
Yeah, be honest. Be yourself.
Okay, so I don't know whether you drink beer or not. So question 7 is your favorite beer right now. If you don't drink beer, what's your favorite drink right now?
Beer and ginger ale.
Beer and ginger ale. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
shanty. It's shanty. What do they call it? Shanty.
Shandy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the best band or artist that you've seen live?
Best one I've seen live was James Brown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
James Brown.
I think Randy, that must have been in your top 3 when we asked you that question too, right? I would think.
Yeah. Did you see him, Oral, when he was in Saskatoon here?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Saskatoon here.
That was such a good concert.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that wasn't long before that wasn't too long before he passed away, I don't think.
That's right.
It was
a couple of years later, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Penultimate question. Describe your teenage self in 3 words.
Oh my goodness. My teenage self was bad to the bone, maybe.
You know what? That's 4, but they're brilliant. So I'm more than happy with that.
I was bad.
Last question out of the quickfire questions then. Who would you most like to perform with given the opportunity? And that could be anyone alive or dead.
Lionel Richie, like to perform with. Then with Bob Dylan, like to perform with Bob Marley. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good.
Beautiful. That would be amazing. Thanks for listening, music lovers. We'll include links for some of Oral's music, as well as some of the songs and bands we talked about today in our episode notes. So look out for that. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HFIAM Podcast. We post regularly to keep you enlightened and entertained. And to lead us out, we will let Oral have the last word with Fire Day from his new album, Rise Up.
I wake up this morning feeling so down. I didn't even have a song. Then the music, it take control. I set a fire within my soul. I wanted to walk it off, run through town, run around. I can't sit down. Man, I say see fire day, see fire day. Boy, I say see fire day, see fire day. Girl, I say see fire day, see fire day. We I say see fire day, see fire day. Hit me now. Like Jeremiah, I feel the fire. No water, gonna out this fire. I feel like walking off, run through town, run around. I can't sit down. Man, I say see fire day, see fire day. Boy, I say see fire day.